welcome in to Clean Greens Living, broadcasting here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. It is your host, Queen B, and handsome man Chris in the house. Mississippi. I
How's
don't
everybody
know
doing today?
how many times you're going to say that, and I'm still not. You know what? Boundaries. We're going to be talking about that in the next coming week. So boundaries.
Oh, okay. I thought
What's
you were going
up,
to say today.
Mississippi?
I'm good. How are you?
No, we're talking about emotional intelligence today, right?
Emotional intelligence. Yeah, that's right.
Being aware. Welcome. What is it? It's a beautiful fall day. I'm so excited. Not too excited because, like, Seattle, please either give me fall or give me summer because I'm confused. Help me out here. So how are you doing this week?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
All right.
I feel like I haven't seen you forever.
I know. It's been a couple of days.
Yeah. How
Good
was
to see you. It was good.
What'd you do?
I didn't do much. But I did discover the white sunflower. I've never seen those before. I sent you a picture, so I hope we get some of those seeds and get those in our garden. What'd you do?
Yes, they're pretty. I relaxed. I worked. I hung out with friends.
Okay.
I went for drinks and had a good time.
Yeah, I think I saw some posts.
Did you see some posts?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. Had some margaritas.
Nice.
Good
All right.
time.
Did you have a good time?
I did. I had a really good time.
That is really good. That is really good.
All right, guys. If you guys are in the city and you guys are looking for fresh organic produce, don't forget to see us at 124 21st Avenue, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. to get your fresh organic produce. If you would like to donate to our organization, Clean Greens Farm and Market, please do so at our cleangreensfarmmarket.com. And you can just click the link donate. We are looking for donations. If you want to start signing up for our CSAs next year, please do so also on our cleangreensfarmmarket.com. Do you have any announcements, Chris?
No, just that our dinner is coming up.
Oh, yes, the harvest dinner.
Our harvest dinner is coming up, and we are looking for sponsors.
Yes.
Sponsorship. So if anybody's out there that knows any sponsors, anybody that's watching this show that wants to sponsor, we'll have information for that coming really, really soon. So keep that in mind. We would love to have your sponsorship.
Yes, and if you want to join us, save the date. We'll have more information later on. Save the date. It's November 18th. We're having a panel discussion with some of our community members who are doing the work in the community, along with our special guest, Karen Washington. Not to be confused with New Hope's Karen Washington, but Karen Washington, who was in the farming industry. She lives in New York City. She does a lot of work. If you guys want to look up, just Google Karen.
High off the hog, Karen?
High on the Hog, Karen. She was on High on the Hog. She was a guest on High on the Hog. She hosts an urban farming, it's not even a convention. Is it a convention? Well, convention yearly. This year to be in Texas. She writes Fords and farming books. She's just really she's really a good leader in farming, cool. Black farming. So August 18th, save the date. There's a free panel discussion. And then our harvest dinner is the following day, where we celebrate our year end and raise money to continue this mission and have fun with our community. All right, Chris, are you ready?
All right. It's cards. That's right. It's time for our yes.
Time for our cards.
Absolutely.
Are you off your game today?
No. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay.
Wait, I'm picking today?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's the most memorable concert or live performance you've attended?
My very first concert with Kirk Franklin.
Okay. Why you laughing?
Because
come on now, guys. Property. Kirk. Shout out to Kirk.
And it was
okay.
Stump. That was memorable because it was my first concert, and my little boyfriend was there.
Okay.
And we listened, enjoyed the music, but we also were kids. So we was just, it was a wild time in the 90s and 2000s. We were able to roam free without adults. So we just all was just like congregated the whole way, having a good time.
Unsupervised at the Kirk Franklin concert.
You thought I was about to say something else.
No,
it was wholesome.
Listening. No, that's
it
good.
was wholesome time.
I wouldn't doubt it. That's great. That's amazing. So that sounds memorable. I like that. Shout out to Kirk Franklin. My first concert was actually the No Way Out tour, Bad Boy tour, Puffy and Biggie tour, actually, before Biggie died. And me and two of my close friends, Tab Mingo, Steve Jenkins, we only had 2 tickets. So this was held at the Georgia Dome before the Ben Stadium. So we only had 2 tickets. So one of us had to rotate, keep coming in and out. So we only saw pieces. So that's memorable.
Yeah.
So we all got to see it. It was a good show. So
and that was good for you guys. How old were you guys?
We were young, man. We were teens for sure. Like you said, it was at different times in the 90s. Listen, I was at Freaknik and I was like 14 and 15. Yeah, I got the proof.
You said you got the proof?
Well, never mind. Another show.
You go show the proof?
No, another show. Deacon Janet.
Prince.
No, not Deacon Janet and Prince.
First. Can't remember that. You know, why did I have a dream and Prince was in it? I'm not even lying.
Okay.
But
Mama.
What was so memorable about it?
Just said hello. Sorry.
Hola.
Mama.
Hi, Auntie Murtis.
What's up, Mom?
Dang, Chris, I was gonna say hi. I would never not acknowledge her.
I know. I was just making sure. You know.
Hey, Mama's boy. I love your mom. Okay.
OMG, same.
Okay. What was your most memorable concert or live performance you've attended? And if you don't mind sharing, why was it memorable? All right.
Okay. All
right. So, Chris, you wanna introduce us to our topic today?
Oh.
First of all, can I just give a shout out, Deacon Janet, RIP to Mother Verna Williams, one of our church ladies' mothers who passed away. I wasn't able to attend the funeral, but I do just want to give a shout out because she was, and just talk a second about her. She, like, growing up in the church is hard. Growing up in the church and being related to a pastor is hard. And she was always kind to me, always spoke words of affirmation to me, encouragement, never downed me, never talked about me. And she will be missed. And I just really wanted to say, rest in peace, because I wasn't able to attend the funeral. Okay, so yeah, send my love. Please sign the book for me if you're still there, Janet.
Okay. Yes. Today's topic. All right. You want to slide right into it? Today's topic is emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. All right. And what does that mean? Mm-hmm. Exactly what does that mean to you? And what are the benefits of emotional intelligence? Yeah. I actually have some notes I need to get into, but
she was a wonderful, beautiful woman of God. I really, really loved her. I can't think of a negative thing she ever said to me as a child. And there were many. Okay. What did you say?
Okay. All right. Well, good. Okay. So emotional intelligence, and thank you again, Deacon Janet. You know, we love you over here, Deacon. Mm-hmm. So I made a couple of notes, and I think the three important keys of emotional intelligence contain self-awareness, self-assessment, and self-confidence. Okay. Mm-hmm. You have those 3 things, then you know you're on your way to emotional intelligence. All right. And what does that mean exactly, right?
Wait, can we just stop? I feel like the energy is weird today. What's going on, Chris?
What's
you
happening?
Good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Daniel, don't do it, Daniel.
Okay.
Don't do it, Daniel. We've been doing so good. Don't feed the bears.
So you said emotional self-awareness, self-assessment, and self-confidence?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. And what's the difference between? Okay, I got a few show notes. Excuse me, guys. So self-awareness is simply the ability to understand and be aware of your own thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and how they affect yourself and others. Okay.
Wait. Why was this important for us to have this conversation?
We're gonna get into that.
Oh, okay. No wonder he's coming in. He's coming in low.
Let's move right into.
Take it to hell.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my!
I was waiting for you.
You was waiting.
Are you ready? Can I
excuse me.
Self-assessment is the process of looking at oneself in order to assess aspects that are important to one's identity. Okay, and then last but not least is self-confidence, and that's the belief that you can do things well and that others respect you. All right. Mm-hmm. Now let's get into it. I think that and there's so many examples that we can use, but I'm gonna just off the top of my head grab one. I think that in some situations it's important to have emotional intelligence because it's easy to get lost in I guess translation of what's going on at times. You know, sometimes a person can misconstrue what's happening and take it personal, and it shouldn't have been personal at all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We got any crickets, Daniel?
No, I'm just taking it in. You're leading the show.
Okay.
You have a
No, I
good
just want the
topic. I'm
crickets. I
just
like the
waiting.
crickets.
I'm waiting for the ball to drop
Nope,
where you just go to hell with me.
No,
Okay.
no, we're here. We're here. How do you feel about emotional intelligence?
I feel like you're right. Emotional intelligence is something that we should be aware of.
Absolutely.
Because it's true. When you're talking to someone, your emotional intelligence, how you feel, how you identify, is how you're going to perceive things.
Absolutely.
And then also being aware of how you are, your tone. Are you coming across a certain way?
It's very important.
Are you receiving it? So no, I think this is a good topic to talk about. And
so have you ever found yourself in a situation that was escalating quickly? Let's just say that. And before you know it, it's borderline confrontational, right? And you know the party that's involved, and you know and believe them to be friend, not foe, right? But in the midst of the interaction, have you ever somehow got lost and took it personal and kind of responded to it personally? Has that ever happened?
Oh, plenty of times.
Oh, okay.
Happened to you?
No, I'm asking you right now.
It might be an interview.
No. It's just a question from my wonderful host.
It has happened to me. Okay, but hold on before you go in on me. I was looking up this topic because I knew Chris was going to come in hot and heavy.
No, never.
Anyway, so yes, I have dealt with that, and I still deal with that, and it's not perfect every day. But when I am in conversations with people, sometimes I do go back to back with the. See, this is why is why those that poll said that she was being
itching. It was itching, guys. Right, spare me on the poll.
Anyway, so yes, I have been there, and it is hard to do that. And I've been learning ways to not take things so personal, because a lot of the times when we are hearing things, we're hearing things through the eyes and lens of our hurt. But then also being very self-aware of yourself and your emotions, because yes, you do have to make those assessments. But then also what I do is I break it down, like, why did you feel that way? What was coming up for you in yourself? And how was the person coming at you? And how is the person showing up in your life? And is the person matching what they're speaking? So yes, I am very emotional aware.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I do like lose it, but then I come back and I remember. And I'm a person that comes back and apologizes when I'm like, okay, I didn't appreciate your tone. However, you were right, and I appreciate you, and I hear what you're saying.
Oh, wait, okay, hang on 1 second. A couple of things here. It's like, so that was
personal.
That was an apology.
Listen, personal.
What you just said was an apology. I understand you didn't mean what you. Tell me the apology. How do you apologize again? How does this sound? I just want to know how it sounds, because that was, but how does the apology sound?
Apology sounds, I apologize.
Okay. That sounds right.
I apologize.
Yeah.
And I just didn't appreciate their tone. And they were right. But not all the time. Sometimes people are right. You have to acknowledge when people are right. I feel like this is personal.
No, that's very true. Like, you do have to acknowledge when people are right.
Is there something I need to know right now? And I offend you in any way?
No. Tone is very important. I'm sorry. Tone is very important in trying to convey a message. And I think emotional intelligence comes into play there as well.
Yeah, but sometimes when you're working on your emotional intelligence, there's different levels to working on your emotional intelligence. So not a lot of people even know, like, after our show, and we were talking about mental health last week, and I seen this video, and I sent you the wheel, and this lady was talking about a lot of times people don't even know how to identify what they're feeling. And she encouraged the guests to go and download the emotional wheel, which I did. And I don't think that we talk enough about how you can feel an emotion, but what is behind that emotion? So like, if you're angry, what are you feeling behind that anger? Are you frustrated? Are you distant, critical, mad, hateful, threatened? So being self-aware is very important, but you don't always get it right? Because you can't control how someone else feels, what they're saying, and how they're coming at you. And so when it's a work in progress, sometimes you fail and sometimes you get it right. But looking at this emotional wheel, Chris, how do you feel today?
I feel I'm just happy to be here. How do you feel
You're
today?
happy, but are you optimistic happy, intimate happy, peaceful happy, powerful happy, accepted, proud, interested, joyful?
Those are some pretty extreme options.
Yeah, because like I am powerful happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, powerful happy.
This feels
courageous.
this feels very Seattle, and I'm actually not from here. I'm from Mississippi, so I'm just regular happy. I'm just Webster's definition.
This is the thing. This is
of happy.
This is self-assessment and being aware. Because if you're angry and you cannot identify why you're angry or why you're happy, how can you let people understand what you're going through?
Let's identify my angry.
Oh, he can identify anger, but he don't want to identify
as. That's what it sounds like to me. So I just know happy, angry. I don't know the many faces of angry.
Let's go over them. Hurt.
Okay.
Threatened. Hateful.
Oh.
Mad. Aggressive. Frustrated. Distant. Critical.
Wait. Okay.
What?
Because it sounded like you pointed one of those words.
Oh no, I'm just making sure I give you eye contact as we talk.
Okay, that's good.
I like when I talk to people, I try to give eye contact, so they know that I'm receiving what they're saying and that they're receiving what I'm saying. Being very self-aware.
There we go.
Of my surroundings.
I see what you did there. Nice.
Thank you.
So okay. So which face of anger do you? How do you identify your anger? How does your anger identify?
My anger comes up when I am hurt and I don't feel heard.
Okay.
Or when I feel abandoned. Yes.
All right.
And because my anger comes up as like a protection for me, like we talked about last week, which I kind of feel like we should talk on a little bit more about how we say only we are going to show up for ourselves and nobody else is going to come get us. However, that is true. We do need to work on ourselves, but we do need to open up ourselves to have a circle of people that is going to love on us, take care of us, and show up for us and trusting. And I was in a situation last week where I was feeling these type of feelings, right? And I didn't relay them the best. But then I realized it's not even just about that person. It's about trusting myself that I can have people in my circle that can show up for me and take care of me. And I can say how I feel and people receive it. So being self-aware and just, breaking it down and stuff like that. So are we on the topic of what you wanted to talk about?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You're in your flow. You're in your bag. I like that. I definitely like that.
Period.
I like that. So basically, when you're hurt and you're abandoned, that's when your anger identifies. So it's like when someone's hurting you, you're like, wait, I can be mean too. Is that how it comes out, or like how does it reveal itself? Is it? It
depends on how the person's coming at me. Like
okay, matching energy.
I don't want to say matching energy, but I would say like my personal self-assessment. I don't know if you ever seen me when I was angry.
Oh, no, I mean,
is that, I talk calmly to people. I try to say how I feel. But if that person starts yelling at me, then I'm like, oh.
People yell at you?
You don't get to treat me this kind of way.
People yell at you?
You don't get to talk to me this kind of way.
That's the question.
So then, people, listen, y'all. I have been yelled at or talked to crazy a few times in the last couple of months. And I'm just like, what is it about me, self-awareness, that people think that they can just talk to me any kind of way, right? Because if I'm talking to you normal, why does everything got to elevate?
Right.
So when we're being self-aware and if somebody's angry, also recognizing when you're talking to someone who's angry, they may not be self-aware. So maybe you should dead the conversation until you guys have time to breathe. Because in a conversation, you can't control the other person, but you can control yourself. So maybe, but for me, I'm not perfect. It's a work in progress. So where you say it's a Seattle thing.
No. Just
I think that it is very important for us as the 80s because I grew up in Seattle, but I was born in Oklahoma and I very much was heavily raised with down south principles. And my grandfather was a pastor of a Baptist church for years.
All right.
So, and my mom I was raised by two strong, heavily independent Black women whose dad not only doted on them, but they have 14 brothers, right? And so there's things that was instilled in me that were like protective mode, like protect yourself so
Shout out
that you
to
don't
Miss
get harmed.
Annette, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
And Margaret. Like
I am Margaret. I haven't met Margaret, but
so there are
Margaret.
things that I had to work through as a woman, because as a Black woman, they're single mothers, they've been harmed in their lives, and they've instilled some of those things in me. So where I wasn't harmed how they were, I grew up under that umbrella. Is this a therapy session for me? First of all, after this, I'm done. You're going to be sharing that.
No, I'm here for it. It sounded good. Sounds good.
So I grew up under that umbrella, right, of this heaviness. And so I think it's important for us to recognize that we need therapy to work through this so that we can then process and become more self-aware. Because at first I was just getting angry but couldn't identify why I was being angry. Now I can identify and say, this is why I'm angry.
Gotcha.
So
gotcha.
That's another thing about being self-aware. So learning to be self-aware, you have to learn that therapy or having a friend, having someone to talk to you and listen is important to become self-aware. And we got to, I guess we got to speed it up because it's 12:51. We be having so much fun. It'd be time. So self-aware, what is your advice to help someone become self-aware?
My advice, again, I think we kind of touched on this before in the previous shows, but I think that for me, be the validation that you seek. Lean into self for validation. I mean, it's good to have the support systems and all of that, but awareness and all of these things that we're talking about that begin with self, notice how they begin with self.
But how do you grow? With self. But how do you grow if you're just only self-evaluating yourself and you're not seeking?
Not only.
It's not like seeking validation. Like it's okay, people. It's okay if we're human. So if you seek validation, but you do need to honor yourself. You're right. However, having a team, why?
I mean, I just have mixed feelings about seeking validation.
Well, because so many people have mental health, right? And so there could be somebody who's just mean, and they're valid in their meanness. They were harmed when they were kids. They don't have the best of luck. They're broke. They're poor, right? So in their mind, they're valid in the way that they treat people.
So that's what.
And if they don't have people around them that's talking to them and checking them, how do they come out of that? How do they become self-aware that people aren't responsible for the situation in their lives and that they have a choice, right? They have a choice and they can get out of it, but they are so stuck in their anger, which has been validated through them, self-validation,
right?
How do you get out of it if you're just seeking self-validation?
That's true, but not solely self-validation. I mean, I think it's important to start there. And to your other point, if a person has been through some traumatic experiences and hurtful things, those feelings are definitely valid. But if they're like mistreating people and being mean to people as a result of that, that's not valid at all. I think for every example of a person that's been through the same exact thing and doesn't treat people like that, that should show you that it can't validate the lesser of the two.
I know, but I'm saying like it kind of sounds like you're saying, okay, maybe I'm
saying it.
No, it's okay. Anyways, okay, so what else did we say? Emotional self-awareness, self-assessment. You said seek self first, not just self.
Yeah, not just self. No, definitely not just self. That's a lonely island.
Look at that. Self-awareness.
Yeah.
Seeing that I'm maybe not hearing correctly.
Oh.
And I caught myself, and then I asked deeper questions.
Right.
High five.
A real high five. Okay. Thank you, Danny. All right.
Okay. So, self-confidence. Okay. How do people begin to build self-confidence to be able to validate themselves?
That's a very, very tricky question, honestly. Tough one to answer. Maybe you should lead. My answers are gonna sound, the same because I think here's it. My answers are a reflection of how I was raised, right? And it's like everybody's not gonna like you, and in some cases you're not gonna like everybody, and you have to find a place where that's okay. So it begins there. Like any people that gets into the business of people pleasing and searching for likes, that's like a lonely and exhausting job. So I think again, you have to understand that it's okay to be unapologetically you, as long as we're not hurting others. Or yourself.
Take into how everyone's not raised how you were raised, right?
Right.
And then trauma, and then self-confidence comes from, and then like, in our church we are taught a certain way to do things and show up, and confidence means that you're arrogant, confident means that you're too boastful. So then how do you find the balance between being confident in who you are and then people pleasing could come with being a service. You're taught, like for me and my family, my family's full of pastors, preachers, ministers, people of service and community. And so it's always about being of service and being there for people and showing up for people. And I've watched people, like they could say with their words the same things you said, but when I watch my family show up for people and then I come out, I'm watching what they do, not hearing what they say, right?
Right.
So again, therapy and having a circle helped me realize that, like, you need to scale it back a little bit. Like, you can't be doing everything for everybody, not giving to yourself. So
Absolutely.
self-confidence, I'm saying, like, yes, we have to seek ourselves, but we also have to work with therapy. We have to work with having a friend, maybe a coach. And it's a practice every day. You won't always get it perfect, but I say this: write down what it is that you want out of life, right? And as you go through life, what are you doing that is equaling to what's happening here? And as you start to and start some goals, set some goals. Because as you start to set off goals, you'll be self-confident. And then look yourself in the mirror and tell you how gorgeous you are, or how beautiful you are, handsome you are. Face yourself in the mirror. My friend Deontay, and we'll leave it with this because I know it's time. I said this before when Deontay told my son, because he was in a summer program and they were having a dance in the mirror, and my son didn't want to dance in the mirror. He didn't want to look at himself in the mirror. And a lot of times we don't want to look at ourselves. We don't want to look at ourselves. We don't want to face what's happening. But we got to look ourselves in the mirror. We got to face what's happening in our lives. And we have to choose what's next. We have a choice. We get to choose to be happy. We get to choose what our life is. I know this world has us thinking we don't, but it's a choice. So choose you.
Choose you. There we
Make
go.
goals. Therapy if needed. And make sure you have a support circle of friends who are lifting you up, not bringing you down. Uncle Elliot said vanity smurf.
Yeah, that's what he said. Shout out to Uncle Elliot. That's our time. We have to get in. So thank you guys for being loyal to the Soil. See you next
week.